Yo guys, what's good today? This is What If Deku Was a Titan Shifter Part 1. So, if you're wondering, the ship for this too, by the way, I'm just gonna say this now, is make an OC that has the female Titan. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna say this. I might add a few Attack on Titan characters, just so you know. So yeah. So I'm gonna say during the time of Attack on Titan, years over 100 years has passed. And then the appearance of Quirks started to appear, and so the world began to advance more and more. The Paradise, Marley, and all the other civilizations are just pure myths in there this time. So during the ninth generation of the Quirks, there's a boy born. He goes by the name of Izuku Midoriya. His father, Azashi Midoriya, is an Eldian, and his mother, Inko, is a royal blood and Ackerman. Yes, his dad is part Eldian, his mom is part Ackerman and has royal blood. And yes, I'm making him hecka OP. So yeah, and so when Izuku is 4 years old, he's playing with his best friend, Katsuki Bakugo, who he calls Kachan. And so, yeah, they're just playing until Izuku slips and falls and gets a cut on his knee, which then yellow lightning strikes down and transforms him. It transforms him into a 15-meter Titan that's very lean and muscular at the same time. So everyone just starts to scream as Bakugo notices the hair, as he's like, Izuku? As he just smiles, as he's like, seems like he's awake at his quirk. As then as heroes are called to the scene, as they try to fight Izuku. Until I'm around, like, pretty sure in the anime, it's, in manga, it's around, for the Attack Titan, I would say it's like, he can hold it for an hour, yeah. Each type it can hold to a certain amount of time. It does one. So yeah. So an hour has passed and the heroes haven't been able to do one single thing to him. Only damage him a bit, but he rapidly regenerates it until it just falls down. And then the person who pops out of it is Izuku, coming out the nape by the Titan. As he's like. As he's like, what the heck was that? So yeah. Sorry. So yeah. Get rid of that. So anyways, the heroes apprehend him since he accidentally was causing quite a bit of destruction. As they take him to a juvenile detention center for a little bit, as then he's released. As he's taken to the quirk doctor after he's released, and then he's told by the doctor that he has a very powerful quirk. As he's like, really? As he's like, yes. You could, as it says, you could shift between 8 different Titan shifters. No, 8 different Titans actually. There is the Attack Titan. It gives immense strength, stamina, and speed, and has a faster healing factor than these other ones. And then there's the Armor Titan. It's the most durable out of all of them. As he's like, cool. Yeah, as he's also like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. It also has armor plates surrounding it. And you can drop it on your legs to make yourself run faster. Like, then it's the Beast Titan. It has amazing throwing ability too. And just for a small bout to the Beast Titan, he can give, it has a great kicking ability too, just for a little buff. As he's like, Whoa, that's cool. As he's like, what's the other ones? It's like, oh yeah. Then there's the Colossal Titan. As he's like, Colossal? Yes. It's a 60-meter tall Titan, which actually, if you choose to, it can produce a gigantic explosion upon transformation. And if you do make an explosion, you can change what it is, like a massive windburst or just a pure explosion, nuclear like explosion. As they're just shocked by it. It's like, oh yeah. And I forgot to say, no, I forgot to say too. You can also transfer these powers to others if they drink your spinal fluid. As they're like, uh, as Izuku just sounds disgusted, as he just gags along like, they had to drink my spinal fluid. And he's like, yes, surprisingly, I was disgusted by it too. Trust me. And he just explains the other ones, like the cart founding and stuff like that. So yeah. So as he's like, cool, yeah. And so they, yeah. So yeah, he trains during this time, and he gets a and he gets really powerful, and he can actually gain certain characteristics of each of his titans. Like for instance, she can have a longer running time with the attacking cart titan. He could create armor around his body like the armored titan too, and stuff like that. And he can also use the memory manipulation of the founding and stuff like that. So yeah, when he goes to school, everyone except for Bakugo calls him a freak and a villain due to his quirk. So yeah, but he doesn't let this deteriorate him. As he, as I also forgot to mention, he also has his one power. And I'm not putting a cursory mirror in this one too. I don't want this man's dying when he turns like 17. So yeah. So yeah. And then pa- fa- uh, present time, Izuku is really powerful with his quirk. He can do stuff like hardening, and as I said, get the characteristics and usabilities of certain tight shifters. And he traded mountain areas, and his attack titan is so strong, it can punch. It can punch through mountains without breaking a sweat. Uh, and I'm just making him a bit too OP. Sorry about this. He can make his power could easily rival All Might when he's not even using his Titan abilities. Yes, I'm making him a bit too OP. So yeah. So it's time for the entrance exam. As he goes ahead and does the entrance exam, he does good, and he gets a really high score on the written exam. For the practical, when Ida interrupts him, as he's like, "Hey, you there?" As he could just dozed off, thinking about like training and stuff like that. As he's like, "You there?" As he, as he's like, if you're just gonna doze off in here, I suggest you leave. And he's like, I'm sorry. I would suggest you shut your Sonic wannabe ass up, boy. Since you interrupted President Mike when he was just about to explain to Zero Pointer. So sit your ass back down and let him finish. And please get out of everyone's business. So yeah. As he's like, okay. As President Mike explains the final, he explains the Zero Pointer and stuff. And so he fast forward to the when they're at the gates. Izuku sees the blue-haired boy again, As he's like, I should probably apologize. I was too rude earlier. As he's like, hey, blue-haired boy. As he's like, if you're good to disturb me, I suggest you leave me alone. Like, sorry. I was like, sorry. I just want to apologize for what happened earlier. I was just a bit annoyed, and I'm sorry if I dozed off too. I hope we can become friends, actually. As it's like, oh, and oh yeah. As he also says, oh yeah, when the doors open, just rush out of there immediately. Says we all know that there is no countdown in hero battle, a real battle. As he's like, yeah, that makes sense. As he's like, good luck. Hope you can pass. So yeah, he goes and he as he starts destroying robots with using his hardened fist. And he also created armor plates around him, except for certain parts on his legs, so he could have some good speed on them. As he as the zero pointer appears, as he sees the as he sees I'm gonna say a yellow haired girl with ocean blue eyes. As he's like, oh shit. As he bites into his thumb, as he turns into the attack Titan, and he just punches the zero pointer. It's basically like how he punched as Aaron punched the Titan to save Mikasa from being eaten, basically in the first season. If you guys watch that, he just sticks it right in the lower half of its mouth. So yeah, as it just falls straight back. If you wonder how many villain points he has, he has a total of 150 villain points, and he just gained 60 hero points due to that, and actually 80 points. So he's at a score of 230, making him first place in the entrance exam, and the highest score in UA history. All Might was 210. He beat All Might by 20 points. So yeah. So yeah. Sorry if I didn't upload, but Deku had anti-quirk magic too. So it's damn it, I cannot figure out what to say. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it, and I'm also giving them a demon like Asta. Slight spoiler, sorry about that. So yeah, and and I'll try to make part 2 of what if Deku was Kokushibo and Kakashi today. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna see how many videos I can post, basically. So yeah, and so now, wait, give me a sec. So yeah, as he's like, okay, as he picks out the rub off the girl, as he's like, nice to meet you. As she says, thank you. As she blushes at the sight of him. So some say that his shirt kind of ripped off too when he exited. It kind of got stuck inside. As she's like, as like Kazuki Midoriya, what's your name? As she's like, as she says, Rize Leonhardt. Yes, this is the fucking daughter of Armin and Annie. I'm just doing that just for fun. Oh, so yeah. Well, actually, technically a descendant of him, but you guys can let it be whatever you want. I'm just saying that she's like their daughter. So they kind of reincarnated. So yeah. So yeah. And then that day when he went to sleep, he meets 8 people. Hang on. Sorry about this. This is the best thing I could find. Just forget about Annie there, and imagine Zeke, Peak, and I'ma say Also, Frida and Mrs. Tauber. Actually, yeah, Mr. like Willie Talbert's sister, basically. So yeah, he just sees them as he's like, "Who are you guys?" As he's like, okay, as they're like, "We are the previous Titan shifters. The powers have gotten lost in time until you were born. You have 8 out of the 9." So yeah, as they're like, as he's like, "Oh, so you're the reason I have my powers." Well, yeah. Also, that because you're of a different race than the regular humans. And he's like, wait, what? Yes. You're also Eldian, and you also have Ackerman and Royal Blood, which makes your Titans way stronger. As he's like, oh. As he's like, as he says, we've been watching over your entire life. We've seen how much you've grown. You put our abilities to the most, even being able to use them on your body without having to transform. So yeah. So now, like, they train him even further to, so he has the ultimate mastery. And if he uses all of them together, he could create an ultimate Titan. Like, it's basically it's unstoppable. Not, not even all the not even All Might, All For One, and Nine combined cannot defeat this Titan. The only people that most likely be able to defeat it are all 9 Titan Shifters, Levi, and Mikasa all together. Yes, that's how strong it is. It take no, actually, it's going to meet the entire Sherman Corps. Sorry, I just Attack on Titan 9 minutes reference. It's like, okay, so I get it. As he just as they just trained during that night, since I would say 1 year is just like 1 hour out in the real world. So he had enough time to master their abilities. So yeah, sorry if I make them a bit too OP, but you want to know something? Yeah, hang on. Oh yeah, sorry about that. These are just slight spoilers. That's my bad. There we go. So yeah, he goes ahead. He goes ahead and wakes up, and he gets his letter for UA a week later, saying that he got top of the class and broke the world record for the UA entrance exam. As he's happy, as he's like, I did it. I mean, I even beat the #1 hero himself. As it's like, now we wait. As the next day he goes to UA and sees that girl. As he's like, oh, hey Rize. As he says, as she's like, oh, Izuku, how you doing? He's like, oh, good. If you're wondering what his hero suit is gonna be, it's just doesn't matter. There's a picture what he's wearing, but he is also wearing. But he also has some 3D maneuvering gear and stuff. So yeah. So just in case he needs to pull Levi, if y'all catch my drift, if he needs to do what Levi did to Zeke on someone with a gigantification quirk. So yeah. And so now Zeke could just see that out and he's like, "Oh, everyone, shut the fuck," as he just says, "Shut the f up. Our teacher is sleeping right now. If you don't want to wake him up, we may never know what's like if he disturb his sleep." As he just wakes up, as he's like, "Thank you," but as he just pulls out the PE uniforms, as he's like, "Put these on and head down the training ground F." As all like, "Yes, sir." As he's like, Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Shota Aizawa, your homeroom teacher, just before he leaves. As they go to the change room, as Hiroshima sees Midoriya, as he's like, "Whoa, Midoriya, you're ripped, dude." As he's like, what's your training regimen? Like, I've trained my quirk ever since it awoken. I've trained in mountain ranges, all that. My attack titan is strong enough. It could probably. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. My mom's boyfriend needed to ask for something. So yeah. So as I was saying, they're all just shocked that she's just one of just the Titan he used the most alone can defeat the number one hero. Or at least push him to use his full power. I was like, no. As Bakugo's like, yes, it's true. He can easily defeat All Might with it. Even when he first awakened the quirk, nobody can, not even All Might, even all the pro heroes, the top 10 couldn't even stop him. As the boys are just shocked, and Jiro, who's listening in, as she tells the girls, as Rize is like, so he has the other 8, huh? As she just smiles to herself, as she's like, this will be interesting. As Izuku goes on to get first in the exam, as he and then a week later, everyone is getting along. Izuku's made friends with Ida, Oshako, Todoroki, and Rize. So yeah, as they actually gained feelings for each other. As then Aizawa says, "All right, we're going to the USJ today." So as they all get their hero suits on, as Izuku's like, "How'd meet you guys there?" As he just uses his 3D maneuvering gear to just go to the USJ. Yeah. So he just goes ahead and gets it there before everyone else. As 13's like, "Where's your class?" I was like, "Oh, they should be here in a few minutes." As they wait and the class comes up, as Ochako is fangirling because 13's her favorite hero. As he's like, okay. As she goes on to explain about how quirks are dangerous and can easily kill people if used in the wrong ways. As Kirishima points out, whoa, they even have fake villain. As Zuko and Aizawa like fake villains. Their eyes widen and they're like 13. As Izuku says, 13 protect everyone. Like actually said, Aizawa 13, get everyone out of here. As he jumps down and activates the abilities of his attack titan, basically, and the armor type too. She's like, as he just starts to beat all the villains, like without a sweat. Until the Nomu comes in, ordered by Shigaraki to kill Izuku. As he just as Izuku's like, I didn't even use my other abilities. As he finds a big boulder, as he just crushes it down, as he just like batter up, as he just chucks him at the Nomu, which splits the Nomu apart into tons of pieces, basically. Yes, he did that. As the Nomu just regenerates easily. It's like, regeneration, eh? It's like, I wonder if. As he dug into the Nomu's memories, as he's like, it's not human. Because I got to hold back. As he uses his Warhammer Titan abilities and managed to kill the Nomu. By finally being able to, as he finally bashes its head in with a big Warhammer. Then it's time for the sports festival. During this time, I'm gonna say that the day before the sports festival, Izuku asked Rize to meet up at a park where he confessed to her. As then the next day, seen that he as the sports festival happens. Yeah, sorry. So now they go on to fight, do the race. Izuku wins that cavalry battle. He wins that. Then it's time for the 1v1s. I've been waiting to do this. Turn up. So yeah, he goes. He easily defeats Shinzo, and so he manages to defeat Todoroki. As I'm gonna say that Izuku and Rize asked to make the arena way bigger, like 10, 15 times bigger, due to their titans. As he's like, "You ready, Rize?" She's like, "Yeah." As Izuku bites his finger, as she uses the ring that's similar to Annie has, as they transform to their titans, and then they just a crazy fight ensues. And that's some like what happened to the anime when his rage form, as then freaking Armin and Annie are in the stands as they're like, sorry about that. Oh shit, my bad. As I was saying, that was muted out. They they just start to fight as Armin and Annie are watching in the stands too by Class 1A. As Armin, Kirishima, and Deki pointed out as they're like, actually just Armin, as he's like, is it just me? Or that sounds like very forceful Titan sex. As he says, God, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird, man. It's like, ow, okay, sorry. As they do be like that though. Just for fun for this. Next thing you know, they just see something nobody never expected. A big ass Titan dick. I'm just kidding. Or am I? I just see that as they're all just like, uh, as everyone is just shocked to their very, very core. They're like, they're like, holy Jesus. And I bet, like, I'ma say, 100 inches. Yes, it's 100 inches. I made it like that. So yeah, it's pretty damn big. So yeah, sorry about that. I just can't help about that. As he, but long story short, he meant just to beat Rize. As then after that, they had their fun bedtime sparring later that night. Long story short, this man done dog style cowgirl, all that stuff. Any position you think of, they did it. They did all that. Since luckily, Titan's have a lot of increased stamina. So yeah, they actually went for their whole night. As they already went to the dorms, I'm gonna say. As he's as the next day, they wake up as everyone's just glaring at them like, you were too loud. As Aizawa can hear that shit too. Actually, all the teachers can hear from the teachers' dorm. As they're like, okay, oh shit, Izuku, you're gonna have to soundproof your dorm. It's like, shut up. It's just, it's looking sleep deprived for me. And it's like, it's the fact that Rize has a daddy king for you for me. I'm just doing this for fun. As he's like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. Like, well, they just, next thing you know, they just start roasting each other. As then Izuku says, it's looking like a whole ass hobo for me. As it, as I could not come back from that. As everyone's just like, he did not just call Aizawa a hobo. It's like, yeah, I said it. As Aizawa just looks at him like, you're gonna You about to get your ass beat, bring that ass heat, boy. As Izuku's like, oh shit, well, gotta bounce. As he just runs away, as I was just chasing me, I was like, bring that ass heat, boy. Anyways, I'm just leaving it off right here, you guys. Hope you guys enjoy. See ya.